Finding your why is the foundation, and it is what attracts the right people and opportunities into your life.
The Buddha and the Badass is not just about doing great work, it's about doing work that feels meaningful and it allows you to thrive both spiritually and professionally.
Find your foundational values starts by reconnecting to peak moments, both the painful and the powerful ones.
If you are wondering how to bring more meaning, be both zen and bold at the same time, just stick around because Hey everyone, welcome to the Future Builders podcast by Empowered Liion. My name is Daniel.
And I'm Ballerina. This channel is about guiding you to live a life you desire by integrating your passion into your career.
We want to show you how you can make enough money while doing what you truly love. It is not a myth.
And we are doing this right now. Yay!
Yay! We are going to talk about this really fantastic book that has been making waves in the world of personal and professional growth. The book is The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani.
Wow, it sounds confusing. Do we need to be a Buddha and a badass at the same time?
Kind of yes, because you know what? This book brings together two powerful ideas: the calm wisdom of the Buddha and the bold, fearless energy of the badass. And this book shows how combining both of them can lead to real success and fulfillment in your career.
Wow, it is such an interesting balance. Vision actually also talked about how we all have these two sides.
You know what? I think we have been doing this kind of things for Empowered Leon, right?
Yes, of course, we always want people to live their life to the fullest. Plus, Vision gives us practical steps to bring this balance into our daily lives and work environments.
So, guys, if you are wondering how to bring more meaning, energy, and purpose into your career, or how to be both zen and bold at the same time, just stick around because we are going to unpack some of the best takeaways from the Buddha and the Badass.
Yes, so Daniel, let's get started.
All right. Now we are diving into a topic that lies at the heart of building not just a fulfilling career, but also a strong organization, values.
Yep, so let's start with foundational value first. These are your personal values, the ones that guide your decisions, actions, and how you live your life. Everyone's foundational values can be different. For some people, it's family. For others, it could be freedom or flexibility, just like ours.
It is really true. And the thing is, having a clear foundational values is so important because they give you a compass for making decisions. So you can imagine that when your life gets challenging or you are faced with a big choices, your values help you stay true to who you are. For example, if freedom is one of your foundational values, you might choose career paths that give you more flexibility and independence instead of just being blurred on chasing the money itself.
Yup. Actually, money doesn't bring any value, but we are the one that give it the values. And here is a simple way to find your foundational values. It starts by reconnecting to peak moments, both the painful and the powerful ones from your past. Take some time to write down these experiences in detail and do this for different stages of your life, from when you were 5 to 25 years old. As you reflect on these moments, you'll start to see common themes, and those themes will point you to your core values.
Yes, guys, and we really recommend you to pause this podcast and go and do the work because it will definitely help you. And afterwards, it is about defining those values. You ask yourself, what do these values mean to me? This process helps you to get clarity on what really matters to you and why. Once you have done that, you are not just guessing what your values are, you are defining them based on your life experiences.
Yep. Now, let's move on to organizational values. Organizational values come from the foundational values of different people within the company. It is like collective agreement on what everyone should prioritize and practice. At Empower Leon, for example, our organizational values are built on synergistic living, flexibility, and freedom.
Yes, and it is extremely important as well because these values set the tone for how a company operates. They create alignment between the team's personal values and the company's mission. When everyone is clear on what the company stands for, it is easier to work together towards a common goal.
Yep. And here's the process for developing organizational values. Start by referring to the list of foundational values from everyone in the company. Then, with your executive team, decide on 6 to 10 core values that will guide the company. From there, you bring in high performing team members and have them write down behavioral statements based on these core values. To make it simple, it is like you just ask everybody to write their foundational values, and then the first group that you call is your executive team who work really closely with you, and then you choose 6 to 10 core values from the list given just now. Then the next step is bring in the high performing team members, and they have to write down based on these values what will they add on it.
After we have gotten these statements, right, it is really powerful. I want to share one story that is mentioned in Vision's book that he said in his company after he has done this exercise sometime in 2008 or something like that. Then what happened was that the values doesn't align with some employees in the company. And in fact, he actually lay off more than 60 or 70% of the employees at that time because those old employees they were hired because the company didn't really set up its values. So after the company set up its values, now these employees they don't feel they belong to the company, so they left. But what happened afterwards was after those employees left, the company actually grew tenfold after a few years.
Yes, so I imagine this as, a bus heading to the destination. So in between, they will have different people with different destination that board the bus. But then once the directions start to get different, they will just leave eventually because you're just on different pathways, so you do not need to be so upset or obsessed regarding this. This is quite normal, to be honest, in our daily lives. It's about give and take, leave and go. And then when somebody leaves, there will definitely be someone who find their values are really similar to yours will join you. So it is not a very big matter, to be honest, just to make sure you have the same values with people who work together with you.
Yeah, that is a good point, Bell. So let's zoom into the values and the statements. So let's say one of your core values is visionary leadership. Then a behavioral statement might be I lead people, but not supervise them in every small detail. So it is about capturing the spirit of each value in actionable terms.
Once everything is consolidated, you can share the final list with the whole team. This becomes a living document that everyone can refer to, ensuring that the company's values are not just words on paper, but principles that shape every decision.
So whether you are looking to clarify your personal values or create alignment in an organization, having a clearly defined values is the key to creating a purposeful, fulfilling career and culture.
Yep. From there, you will know what you really need to focus on in your life because there are too many things surrounding us. We have to really focus on one thing and work on it instead of just split your focus to everything.
Good. I want to move on to the next point. So the next big takeaway from the Buddha and the badass is all about finding your why. This is a very powerful concept because it asks you to really dig deep and understand why you are doing what you are currently doing. So you want to know that what you are doing right now is more than just a job or a business. It is about the beliefs, the values, and the vision that you have for this world.
Yep, and finding your why helps you stay aligned even when things get tough. One way to express your why is by creating a manifesto, whether it is for your company or for yourself personally. For a company, your manifesto could include what you embrace as an organization, like flexibility, and explain how it benefits your employees.
We want to show you our examples. In Empowered Liion, one of our core values is flexibility. We recognize that genius works best in its unique way. So we provide flexibility in terms of working hours, location, and even how the work is done. So we just tell the person like what we want from this thing. And then you can work on any way you want, you can work anytime you want, as long as the work is delivered in a good manner, then it is good for us. So it is not just about making things easier. It is about creating an environment where people can thrive.
And on a personal level, your manifesto could be built around your core values and affirmations. It is a powerful way to declare what you believe in and commit to living by those values every day. For example, you might say, love. I give and receive love freely and unconditionally. These affirmations become a guiding force for how you approach life and work.
Absolutely, Belle. And once you have found your why, you can start crafting a vivid vision for the future, both for yourself and your company. Think about where you want to be in 3 years, and what will the company look like? How will it grow? What problems will it have solved? And what impact will it have on the society?
That's right. And speaking of a vivid vision, Daniel, maybe we can share some about Empowered Leon's vision for the next 3 years. What do you think? And actually, where do we see ourselves?
Good idea, Belle. So for Empowered Leon, our vision for the next 3 years is that we want to bring Empowered Leon all around the world. And we want to be holding different offline events at different countries. And then we want to impact others to do what they want in their life. So this is something we can definitely dive deeper into as we keep shaping the future of the company.
Absolutely. I really, really love that. That's so lovely. And I think our vision for the company really reflects our core values like synergistic living and flexibility. But of course, we'll continue discussing and refining this as we go along because nothing stays there forever. We need to do some change and adapt to the situation from time to time.
Guys, by being clear on your values and vision, something magical happens. You don't have to go searching for the most brilliant people to join your team. They will find you. People who share the same values and vision are naturally drawn to organizations and leaders who stand for something they believe in.
So, whether you're a leader building a company or an individual looking to live a life of purpose, finding your why is the foundation. It is the driving force behind everything you do, and it is what attracts the right people and opportunities into your life.
Awesome. Now, let us move on and talk about something crucial when it comes to creating a thriving environment for both individual and teams. The four core clusters of human needs. These are not just things people want at work. It is essential to how we grow, thrive, and feel fulfilled. So I will give you a quick introduction to these clusters first, and then we'll dive into each of them one by one in a bit.
That's right. And these four clusters are not just about professional needs, they are deeply human. Let's start with the first one, connecting and belonging. This is about more than just having colleagues. It is about forming friendships or relationships that go deeper than just work tasks. People want to feel that they are a part of the community, that they belong to something bigger.
Actually, there is a magic that will happen when people feel connected because they are not just showing up to do the job, they are contributing to something they genuinely care about. And then the next cluster is self-esteem. This is all about helping people feel valued. Now you see, they are employees, and those employees, they need to know that they matter and their contributions are appreciated. And there is an abundance of recognition. When people feel seen and heard, their confidence grows.
Let's imagine this. You're working in a company, then you bring in $1 million of profit into the company every year, but your boss didn't recognize you. However, you just make a very small mistake, like losing $1,000 for a company, then your boss will start to find you trouble. Do you think you will stay in this company and continue to work for them? Definitely no. So that's why the self-esteem is really, really important in an organization or even in a relationship. Moving on to the third cluster, self-actualization. This is where growth and personal development come into play. People want to feel like they're constantly improving, learning new skills, and becoming the best versions of themselves. When you create an environment that encourages growth, people are far more likely to stay motivated and engaged.
Spot on. And finally, the highest cluster, self-transcendence. This is where the mission of the company or the individual's purpose comes in. It is about contributing to the greater good. How can your work impact the community or even the world? When people feel connected to a mission that goes beyond themselves, they find meaning and fulfillment in what they do. That is why you can see that the most successful people in this world, they have vision that is more than just about themselves. For example, Elon Musk.
Yup, he's really a legend. So there's a rough introduction to the four clusters of needs: connection and belonging, self-esteem, self-actualization, and finally, self-transcendence. For now, we'll go through each one in more detail.
All right. So let's go back to our first cluster of human needs. Do you guys still remember what it was? It is connection and belonging, or some people call it love and belonging. This is about growing social bonds and creating an environment where people feel connected on a deeper level than just work. So let's say friendship at work can lead to better results because when more people feel good, they work better. But it is not about the outdated idea of work hard now, then be happy later. We need to make the workplace a space for connection, love, and belonging.
100% true. And how do we spark those friendships? It starts with the hiring process. It is not just about the qualifications of a candidate or how well they can work, but about their attitude and characteristics. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that qualifications of a candidate or their quality of work doesn't matter. It does matter, but other than that, we should always assess their attitude as well because you have to work with them. You don't expect them to leave maybe a month later, right? So we want to create a long-lasting relationship. These are what matter most. Ask yourself, do I trust this person? Do I respect them? If you don't trust or respect the person at all, you will never form a friendship with the person. Creating solid social connections isn't just about who you hire, though. It is about what you do to foster those connections once they are part of the team.
Definitely, you need to treat them more than just your staff in the company. So one way to do that is by hosting social events. For example, having weekly social hours or monthly social nights with food and fun activities. Rituals are also a great way to bring love and belonging into the workplace, like daily gratitude sharing in a group or weekly personal updates where no work talk is allowed. Next thing is maybe you can imagine a quarterly party where everyone brings the most brilliant person they know. So the person doesn't need to be in the company. And the best part is when these brilliant people see how strong our company's bond is and how aligned our values and visions with theirs, they may even want to join us as co-workers. So they will realize how great our company culture is, and it could inspire them to become part of this close-knit community.
And don't forget, leaders have to show up. The more present leaders are in these events, the more connected the team feels. These gatherings can be formal or informal, but what's important is choosing spaces where people feel safe and are willing to open up. For example, Vishen Lakhiani shared an experience in The Buddha and the Badass where one of his employers invited the team to his home and personally cooked for them. Wow, that's truly amazing to me because I haven't had this kind of experience before. And if I have the chance one day, I really want to do this to my employees because this created a warm and welcoming environment that helped build deep trust and connection between team members.
Don't underestimate this personal touch because it really creates a sense of community. When you, as a leader, show vulnerability and hospitality, it strengthens the bond within the team. It is those personal connections that make a real difference.
Another key to fostering love and belonging is creating an environment of safety and support. You can do this through group sharing spaces where people feel safe to share personal things and ask for support. Even having a meaningful group name like Angels can create a sense of unity. Also, consider intimate dinner gatherings in a space where people feel able to open up and be authentic.
The key thing is being vulnerable, meaning to say, don't just talk on the surface about the work stuff. We want to encourage people to share some of their darker moments, the things that they are struggling with right now. This can strengthen the bonds between the team members. When people feel that they can be vulnerable towards the team, they trust each other more deeply.
And also, privacy is very important. We have to respect each other's privacy by not telling others who are not there regarding someone's story because, you know, the person share with you, but he or she doesn't want to share with someone else. We all do not know. So help them to protect this little secret and don't be so kind to spread this all around the office.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and also don't forget the power of positive contagion. You can do this through rituals like culture days, celebrations, or even something like the awesomeness report, which we could do weekly. It is a space where we share customer success stories, any new goals we have achieved, and recognize individuals who made a difference.
This really shifts the dynamic to compete at kindness. Instead of fostering competitive work, imagine encouraging your team to compete in kindness. One fun way to do this is through a secret angel activity, where for a whole week, the team members do kind acts for one another. It doesn't have to be anything big or expensive, just thoughtful gesture that show appreciation. This shifts the culture from competition to connection.
Yes, I can't agree more. And by focusing on kindness over competition, you build an environment where people uplift each other. When everyone's goal is to spread kindness, the overall atmosphere becomes more positive and supportive, leading to better collaboration and greater results. We, I can I can think about like we always do this kind of thing like the secret Santa during Christmas and we always buy gift for each other, right? Why don't we do the same thing even it is not Christmas yet? Because we don't need a season to be an excuse for us to spread kindness, right?
Yes, as long as we are happy, it is a good day. So, love and belonging really starts with those small intentional actions. From friendships and vulnerability to positive rituals, creating this environment isn't hard. It just requires a commitment to fostering human connections.
And I really can't imagine how happy it is to work in a work environment that have a lot of love, a lot of support. It will be so happy to work with those coworkers who are so lovely.
Yes, apart from the workplace, let us talk about the next core need, self-esteem. This one is all about how you see yourself, and something powerful from the Buddha and the badass really drives it home. The idea of being unfuckable.
Oh, yes, I find that concept so powerful. In fact, after reading it, I was so inspired that I changed my Instagram and Facebook bio to say unfuckable because it is about standing firm in who you are, no matter what life throws at you.
You really love this word, right, Belle? Now, to be unfuckable, nothing external can shake you, not people's opinions, not circumstances. It is about being so deeply connected to your own self-worth that external things cannot touch you. So it is all about becoming the person you want to be, not others want you to be. This is very important point. You need to make decisions for yourself, living in alignment with your values and not seeking validation from anyone else.
It is a game changer. I think the essence of it is to stop doing things because others expect you to do. Instead, start being true to yourself, make decisions for yourself, and love who you are.
That brings us to some practical steps to build this strong sense of self-esteem. One of the first is recognizing yourself. Simply looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I love you, is a powerful affirmation. You might feel silly at first, but it is so effective in rewiring your brain to appreciate yourself.
Yes, now I want everyone who are listening right now, especially for those who are driving, let's do a very small exercise. Use both of your arms to hug yourself and tell yourself, oh, I love you.
It is sweet.
This is a very good exercise because you're expressing how much you love yourself, and eventually you'll do something that express the love to yourself as well. This is just a very small start. Another great practice is gratitude. This can be done in the morning or at night, where you take time to reflect on what you are thankful for, even the small things. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present in your life. I found this practice to be so grounding.
And one thing we can bring into teams is the 2-minute appreciation. It is a simple yet effective exercise where, let's say, during team meetings or gatherings, everyone takes 2 minutes to appreciate someone else in the room. It creates an atmosphere of positivity and recognition, reminding people that they matter.
I love that. It's a great way to uplift the entire team and foster a culture of appreciation.
Now, let's talk about the three most important questions, or 3 MIQ. These questions are a great way to clarify what you want out of life. They focus on three key areas. What do I want to experience? How do I want to grow? And how do I want to contribute?
Exactly. Each of these questions helps you to think about a different aspect of your life. The first question, what do I want to experience? Is about identifying the experiences that will make life rich and meaningful. It is not just about career success. It could be travel, adventure, or even something simple like spending more time with family. Daniel, why don't you go first? What do you want to experience?
For me, I want to do whatever I want at the place I want with the person that I want for as long as I want. Meaning to say, there's no restriction to time, money, and obligations. I can do whatever that I want.
There's so many word once, but that's very similar to mine, and that sounds incredible too. Now, let's move on to the second question. How do I want to grow? This one is really about personal development. Growth can mean learning new skills, improving yourself, or even expanding your mindset. I think I'll share my thought on this one. Recently, I just noticed the art of speech. Just a very simple sentence can affect how a people think and how they feel. I think this is super powerful, so I really want to learn it. So previously, when people upsell things to me, or when they're sharing things with me, or even an MC is hosting an event, right? I usually don't really like listen to their technique that they use, but I only listen to the content itself. So I was affected by them. But now, because I started to realize how amazing is the art of the speech, I started to notice the technique that they use, the special terms that they use, because I just want to learn it and influence as many people as I can naturally.
Yeah, this is a good skill to learn, well. Now we can use our speech to influence people in a good way instead of keep selling things.
Yes, I hate selling things to people, but I will only introduce the things that I think is very useful for people who need it.
Yes, and it is very important to continuously evolve. Now, the final question is, how do I want to contribute? It is all about giving back and making a difference. Contribution can look different for everyone, whether it is helping others, which is the most common type of contribution that people can think about, but there are others like creating something meaningful or leaving a legacy. So I will share my example. For me, I want to help others to be able to do what they want, not being restricted by the expectations from the society. By the way, it is also the mission of Empowered Liion.
That's such a thoughtful way to contribute, and Daniel and I definitely love doing that so much. So, to our listeners, this exercise is something you can do at any time. Just remember the three most important questions. Ask yourself from time to time because it helps you align your life with what matters most to you. And it is a great way to reset your focus when things get hectic.
This is really good one. Taking the time to answer these questions can give you a clearer vision of where you want to go and how you want to impact the world around you.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We have covered a lot, but we are only halfway through the book, The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani. We hope the ideas we shared today give you plenty to think about as you reflect on your own personal growth and leadership journey.
If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next part of this series. And if you know someone who could benefit from these insights, especially leaders or team builders, please share this episode with them.
We would love to hear your thoughts on what we have discussed today. Feel free to leave a comment below about what stood out to you and how you might apply these concepts to your life or work. Your feedback really matters because it helps us to shape the future episodes.
Before we wrap up, we want to introduce you to a special resource we have created, our Stay or Slay quiz, available at www.empoweredlion.com/s. This quiz is for anyone who is feeling uncertain or stuck in their current job. If you have been asking yourself whether to stay in your current role or make a move, this quiz will help you get clarity.
Exactly. It is designed for anyone feeling unfulfilled at work or wondering if they are in the right place. This quiz guides you through key questions to help you assess your job satisfaction, your alignment with the company's values, and your long-term career goals. If you're questioning whether it is time for a change or you just need reassurance that you're on the right path, this is for you. Once again, head over to www.empowerleon.com/s for the completely free Stay or Slay quiz.
Thanks for tuning in to the Future Builders podcast by Empowered Leon. We are excited to bring you more insightful discussion in our next episode.
Remember, we are not done yet. We are still halfway through the book, The Buddha and the Badass. So we'll see you very, very soon. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye!